LAT Racing Oils is invested in winning. With industry-leading at-track support, superior engineering, blending technology, and the World Championships to prove it, LAT is your premier choice for racing lubricants. Used by NHRA Pro Mod champions Jose Gonzalez and Chris Thorne, along with their closest competitors, LAT Racing Oil continues to carry top-level racers to the winner's circle in all categories of competition. From engine oil to transmission fluid and gear oil, LAT has you covered from end to end in your race car. A nationwide dealer network means easy access to our products as well. Visit LATRacingOils.com for more.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to SimTraX Broadcasting. We arrive here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This track is going to be an interesting one here tonight as the times are separated by at least 2.5 seconds from our guys in the front and in the back. Hopefully this track won't get spread out too much where these guys are definitely chasing each other, trying to find one little inch out there that they can maybe come on top and figure out how to beat these guys. Now, I have seen a couple of these drivers have dropped off the track just a little bit. That way they can try to cut that track just a hair down there on the bottom, and it's going to be a questionable move, seeing that we are here in the next-gen cars. Very flat-bottomed car, low-profile tires, not a whole lot of give for these cars to make that cut, but it's very difficult to keep traction on this track when those tires start wearing down. Knowing about tires wearing down and having all sorts of trouble out there in the next gens, Jackson Knock joining alongside me here tonight in Las Vegas. Some guys say they'd like to see it filled up and turn into a pond. Jackson, I would say you might think that for the car and just drive it into a lake.
Well, you know, next gen, obviously a lot of intermediates. It can be a lot of fun, can be pretty good. And Las Vegas, I think, is one of those tracks. Las Vegas, you know, a lot of these drivers can be rolling the dice on whether they finish this race or not. But no, I think it's going to be very different from last week. Usually Las Vegas puts on a pretty good show. Pretty easy to be clean here. All lanes are usable. You know, so I expect to see long green flag runs. I expect to see some more bigger names up front towards the majority of the race. So, you know, should be a good show.
Yeah, well, Cody Welch rejoining back here at the Bandit Racing League as he's been on a little bit of a hiatus. Glad to see the number 85 back, and Jennifer out there in the chat is as well. Patsy Steele will be out there rooting on Mr. Lakey. So we're getting ready to go here in just a moment as they are getting ready to finish their warm-up here for the drivers' meeting. That way they can go ahead and knock down what rules and what they are expecting out of our drivers here tonight. As anybody who tuned in last week hung their head at that race, that was a record-setting amount of cautions. We are looking to avoid 90% of that here tonight. And you were talking a little bit about rolling the dice. Rolling the dice out there is one driver who's been kind of trying to name down a couple of drivers, kind of who is going to be in winner's circle tonight. Well, Marshall Crocker has gone ahead and chucked his ticket into the ring, saying that Kevin Foster should be our winner here tonight. They're hoping to see the number 8 come into play and maybe have something a little for these guys. Now, if I'm not mistaken, most laps led here at this track is still held by Nick Nickerson, seeing that he is yet to be on the track so far this season. Looks like everybody's going to have a little bit of an extra time giving an opportunity to gain. Now, we'll talk a little bit about this here, Jackson. Interesting stat is that anyone that has won here at Las Vegas has not won the championship. So, do we really want Kevin Foster to win this one?
Ooh. Well, you know what? Kevin Foster might be the man to break that streak. Kevin Foster been pretty good this season, especially in the next-gen car. Not sure where he qualified, but I saw him do his lap, and it looked fast, so I expect to see him up front, as well as Ricky Hart Jr. He was up front a little bit, at least top 10 most of the race last week at Iowa. So expect to see him up front as well. We see Ricky Hart Jr. up front all the time at these intermediate tracks when everyone gets fairly separated. It's mostly just about skill.
Yeah, now Ricky Hart can nail down some really fast laps, but his longevity throughout the race seems to be lacking a little bit. He does drop outside the top 20, unfortunately, and his Ford Mustang has been having a lot of trouble this year, and I would say hanging toward the back of the field is probably not where you want to be. But when you've got 28 to 30 guys all aiming for that number 1 spot, it's harder and harder each and every week. You got big names out there like Kevin Foster, Cody Welch is out here tonight. Mark Allen Bivens is now coming into play. This guy's been hot as of late. John Osborne, he's due for a win, and he gets so close every single time. And I don't want to leave out Benjamin Lacey or Brett Guzik. Now, these guys have been on fire here lately, but I would say the two guys that are next to each other, they'll see how they get going. Kelly Queel out there is saying no Perfect Shine Auto Spa sponsorship tonight. Well, we'll hope not. I expect to see a couple of cautions here, but not too many. And I just think it'll be for something silly, somebody getting way too loose out there. Fortunately, they will have an opportunity to come down into pit, which let's go ahead and take a look at a race info setup here tonight here at Vegas. 135 laps here at the CBD 135. Stage will be at lap number 47, 70% fuel limit and 4 sets of tires down there in pits. I think we'll be using at least a minimum of 2. I would say a late caution may change the game for a lot of the drivers out there. Fortunately, if there's a caution, if need be, we got one fast repair for each of these guys, and they'll be letting it rip. All right, I'll be your lead producer tonight. Jackson Knock will be alongside me, and Dalton Kilroe. All right, great job out there being a race control. Right now, he's got to have his head on a swivel here tonight because there is going to be a ton of stuff happening out here, and a lot of guys trying to take over that last spot that is just so coveted. And how do you get yourself to a top 5 finish? And it's going to be almost impossible to do. And finding who can do it, who's got the really the tenacity to fight up there, get alongside somebody, and try to push them out of the way. As we're going to see how it goes with a lot of these drivers. I would say drivers like Eddie Haggy. You know, how many times did that guy shuffle through the field after getting caught up in a caution and then have to fight back through? And still, I mean, this guy comes out here for another week, and he is praying that things go well. Yep. Jason Greenwell was another one right now out there in the 83 Ford. Looking at about another 3 minutes here that we're going to try to see what we can go ahead and spill away out here. I know a couple of guys that we had talked to. Some of them were joking around saying, please, for God's sakes, don't talk to me out here because you might just dupe me. And I would say Jason Greenwell did pretty well out there. He didn't get in too much trouble. Right now, Ethan Sikorsky, every time that poor boy gets in the lead, he turns into a magnet. Everybody starts bumping and banging him around, and we'll see what all he has to allow out here on the track. Maybe we should find the... Yes, we'll go ahead and grab the 84 out there and see what he's got an opportunity to see what he has to allow for us here tonight. All right, David Lake, you got a copy on me, brother?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, man. Well, this track, tough here tonight. A lot of guys are going to be battling out there for position. How do we stay clean out there, and what's the most difficult part of this track you're finding out there?
Well, at about lap, I don't know, somewhere between lap 17 and lap 20, the tires seem to go. So whoever manages their right rear the best is probably going to be able to drive through the field. The car gets really upset in dirty air, so expect to see a lot of guys getting pushed up high, maybe bouncing off the wall out of 4. But just got to take what the race gives you, try to stay clean, and hopefully stay out front in clean air.
So you talk a little bit about, having different lines out there and kind of how the track feels, what the track can give you. What does the track give you? I mean, is it better to run low, middle, or high? Because I'm finding in all sorts of kind of everybody's doing a little bit of everything. Connor Gibson smacked it off the wall a few times during practice. I mean, where are you finding some success out there?
Yeah, I think on new tires, I think the bottom of 1 and 2 is good. You'll eventually migrate to the top. 3 and 4, I think no matter what, guys are going to run the bottom. But as the tires wear, you're going to see guys start running the middle lane and go to the high side.
Okay, so start low and then rotate up toward the top. All right, well, we're going to hold it to it, man. David Lakey, anything you want to say out here? I think Greg Smith and Patsy Steele out here hoping you can do a great job tonight in the Zero Foxtrot machine.
Yeah, hopefully we can make it to the end. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate y'all showing up each week, and I appreciate the broadcasters putting this on. You guys do a great job.
Awesome. David Lakey, appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Yeah, you talked about tires wearing. I was going to say, with 4 sets in the pits, the Bandit Racing League usually decides how many tires are going to be in the pits based on how fast the tires wear in the practice night before on Tuesday. So to see 4 tires in the pits, that means we're probably going to see a lot of tire wear in tonight's race.
Yeah, well, them having to dial it back big time here tonight. And it's going to be the longevity. And I was kind of giving a hint to a couple people earlier in the race saying this is going to be a tire strategy race. A lot of this is going to depend on how much you punish these tires. If Lakey is saying ride on the bottom, I mean, how many people are going to choose riding middle and then roll high and then outlast everybody else who's maybe burned those tires off between 1 and 2, between maybe that first 15 laps or so. So we'll see. I would say there's a lot of strategies coming into play here. And David Lakey starting in the top 10, I think that's going to work out great for him. And we'll go ahead and get to our starting grid, which I am excited to bring to you guys. So is LAT Racing Oils. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting grid, where Keegan Clark, check that out. New name up there, the 74 Ford. He'll be starting in the number 1 position next to Benjamin Lacey. Bob Berry will be starting in row number 2 on the inside with Kevin Foster to the outside. All right, Kelly Queel, you get your chance. All right, moving on to John Osborne, starting in 5th next to Eddie Hagge. David Lakey going ahead and leading off row number 4 to the inside and to his outside. Jason Greenwell, we talked about him there a little bit, along with Mark Allen Bivens. Threatened last week that somebody may need to get bivouacked out there, but I hope he doesn't. Maybe he can keep this thing clean. He'll be 9th. Ricky Hart starting in 10th. Moving on to Matt Crockett, who's in our 11th position, and Cody Welch rounding out our top 12.
In 13th, we have the 94 of Ethan Sikorsky. On his outside, Christopher Bassinger in the number 1 car. In 15th, we have Christopher Fiera back in the field once again, the number 13. On his outside, in the number 77, Marshall Crocker Sr. In the 17th place, Connor Gibson in the 31 car. Zach Michaels on his outside in 18th. Peter Murphy Jr. in 19th. In 20th, Marshall Crocker Jr. starting behind his dad in 20th. In 21st, Michael R. Ramos. In 22nd, Terry Condis back in the field. In 23rd, Nolan Gross. In 24th, Brett Guzik. In 25th, Hunter Musselwhite. In 26th, Joshua McQuiggan. In 27th, David Westover Jr. On his outside, Dylan Nicastro in 28th. And rounding out our field is Jason Duke in the number 08 car.
All right, now we'll see if Mr. Duke can hang in there. We were joking around a little bit earlier in the race whether he was going to survive this one. Kind of smacked into a couple of drivers. here at the CBD 135, or last week there at Iowa. We are kind of honing in here on Brett Guzik, who's actually got a little bit farther back of a start than expected. I noticed that Mark Allen Bivens and John Osborne may be starting from the pits here tonight, so already a couple of guys are going to be shuffling back to start this race. Hate to see it happen, but man, sometimes penalties are going to be dealt. All right, what do you say? We see the pace car head on off here. Keegan Clark getting ready to take this one underway. Green flag held in the air. Wait for Barney to give it a wave here, and we will get going. All right, here we go. The CBD 135 takes off here in Vegas.
Heading down the front straightaway, Keegan Clark. Oh, Bob Berry goes around almost just about on the front straightaway. He probably saved it. No, he's up and over. Lap one, upside down on his lid in turn one. Caution flag is out. Pace car doesn't even care. Goes right on by.
That is the most amazing thing I've ever seen happen.
Both cars that started in pits are going to be with the field. Not going to go a lap down. Perfect, exactly what they needed. I don't know how Bob Berry went upside down.
Dude, before I could even get the tower up, Bob Berry's on the lid. What just happened? Okay, maybe we'll see what happened to Bob Berry starting here at the green flag. We'll see kind of what happens here. He's right in the front. All right, here comes the green flag.
Great qualifying for Bob Berry. Gets bumped. Misses a shift maybe. Gets turned around hard into that inside wall. Wow.
That was wild.
Not a good car.
Yeah, Lakey was right behind him, but did you see the accordion start happening right behind him?
Yeah.
And I don't know, like you were saying, if something had happened here and got him offset, maybe we can find maybe more of a cockpit view here.
That would be good.
To see maybe if Bob Berry did miss a shift. Let's see if we can pop it back here. Come on, you. More of an inside look here.
In second, goes up to third.
Oh, it's not moving. Look at that thing redlined.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could not get it into third. So definitely some technical issues for Bob Berry. Hopefully he can get back out there. But definitely going to be our first to lap down.
Boy, what does RC do now? Oh my gosh. All right, well, fortunately, Bob Berry will have the opportunity to try again. He'll have that faster pair, but no, I can't. Having to use a faster pair before you made it to turn one, I mean, that is going to be for a long night. Wow. And I wouldn't say it was Lakey's fault. I mean, you saw the accordion. Lakey was on his bumper,
obviously.
And then
it
just stack, got up to the fourth car, and that was it. So, boy. All right. Well, then. See spooky places out there. Mama Goo's out there, and I believe even Devin is out there. Hopefully we'll have a good night here tonight. Already a little stumble. And Madison's rooting on the number one car. Chris Bassinger currently sitting in fifth. That's an impressive jump there as he goes up 9 positions.
On one corner? How did he do that?
I don't know.
Great driving by Christopher Bassinger, though.
Yeah. Now we'll see as he shuffles up. I'm wondering if that outside line will maybe kind of shuffle him back. I mean, got drivers like Connor Gibson. I'm wondering if the yellow flag didn't come out till he went upside down. Which would then give these guys the opportunity to go ahead and sling past the end of the turn. Uh-oh.
I believe Matt Crockett is sporting a new Liquid Death paint scheme. As well as the 94 of Ethan Sikorsky also sporting a new Crunchyroll paint scheme. I like that one. I like both those.
That's pretty neat.
That is pretty neat.
Get a couple of guys in here on CBD Esports. There they are. Boys getting loud. All right, they're getting ready to get going here.
Putting it in second, getting ready to go green this time by... And green flag is out. Once again, Keegan Clark leads us into turns number 1 and 2. Eddie Hagee right behind. Everyone going to be able to make it down the front stretch cleanly this time by a mile ahead into turns number 1 and 2. Still Keegan Clark leading it. Most drivers choosing to take the bottom if they have a choice. We're going to see him move up, I would guess.
Yep, a lot of guys are shuffling around out there, already on the move. Connor Gibson gains 10. Bassinger moves himself up into the 3rd position. Right now, his Ford is definitely kicking butt here. Is Peter Murphy, the only lone Toyota out there other than Dylan DeCastro. He's down there in 24th, and I talk about Peter Murphy currently holding in 10th. Track is spreading out here, but who's on the move? Kevin Foster here to the outside. Can Bassinger hold on to it? I don't think so, and that's going to go ahead and allow Kevin Foster to sling on around, and he'll have 3rd. Not bad here for a 4th place start. Bassinger started back in 14th. Boy, talk about a quick sling there. Keegan Clark still leading this one. Bassinger off the wall.
Yeah, you got to think a lot of these drivers now choosing to take that high lane, possibly that middle lane. But you got to think about what lane is really going to wear the tires more. Sure, on the bottom, you're probably turning the wheel a little bit more, but on the top side, you have more momentum, so that you're shredding all your tires, when on the bottom, you're mostly just shredding your fronts. So it's really going to come down to how people want their car to handle later on the race. I always wanted front tires. I didn't care how worn out my rear tires were as long as I had front tires. So, usually I'd be running that high side.
Yep, man on the move here is Kevin Foster. Hagee looking to get a position back here. Hagee already has fallen down just a hair. He started in 6th. He's got 2nd currently, but Foster with the turn exit speed as he comes down the backstretch side by side there with Hagee. And right now it looks like Keegan Clark is laughing this one off as these two are duking it out. This is allowing him to squeeze and run away.
Yeah, Keegan Clark holding that lead. Still only about a 1/4 of a second to a 1/3 of a second, but still keeping it at the same range. Yeah, like you said, these two cars side by side, giving him exactly what he needs, but not getting away just yet. Kevin Foster going to be able to clear out of turn 2. Eddie Hagee now has to deal with Christopher Bassinger on his outside. Eddie now moving down to 4th. Matt Crockett, a lot of speed here at Las Vegas. Good to see him up here.
Yeah, especially for starting outside the top 10. The Liquid Death Machine is now up to 5th. Currently, I think he'll be tucking in behind Eddie Hagee here. Bassinger looks like he may have a little extra speed outside line. Right now, the Fords are going to team up against the Chevrolet of Eddie Hagee. Hagee takes that Camaro down on the bottom. Does not have it, though. Only had a fender as we sit on top of Matt Crockett. Hagee's going to try to squeeze in, and whoop, little bump. Let him know, hey, you can't, that's my lane, too, so you better ask nicely to move in. Keegan Clark, Kevin Foster, Chris Bassinger, Eddie Hagee, Matt Crockett leading our top 5.
Yeah, Matt Crockett is one of those drivers to where if you throw a bad block on him, he does not care. He'll run right through you. That is your fault if you put a bad block on him. So Eddie Hagee really risking coming up on there into his high lane, but made it work. Eddie Hagee now ahead of Matt Crockett. Got to do what he got to do, and he did what he did.
All right, they're starting to settle down a little bit here as we move back to Jason Greenwell, Ethan Sikorsky, and Connor Gibson. These guys are spread out just a little bit. As notice, Sikorsky is caught out there. Let's find the battle out there. I believe that is currently with Mark Allen Bivens and Marshall Crocker Jr. Yep, that's his son. All right, the younger one. He is up 10 positions, and Peter Murphy is up 10 positions. You want to talk about the guys starting from 19th to 20th, shuffling on up to the top 10. Apparently, qualifying time was a fluke. He said, well, I got a lot more speed in this car. But once again, tire strategy here. Are they burning this car up a little too fast, a little too early? Well, we'll definitely keep an eye on it here, as there's definitely a possibility that we've got some trouble. David Lakey doing the usual blinking there in the back on the number 12. Oh, excuse me, it's back there in 12th position on the number 84 as he's trying to keep it intact with the track. You don't want to see anybody blinking and bouncing around out there. We'll keep an eye on it. Moving back up here to Eddie Hagee. Looks like he was under fire for just a moment as you see Kevin Foster rolling on back. Sitting now 5th, now 6th. I don't know if Foster's got a problem going on here. We got an eyeball on him as Jason Greenwell's looking to slice to the inside and get a hold of that top 5, sending Kevin Foster back to 6th.
is a great top 5 so far. But yeah, Kevin Foster just losing it a little bit on the outside of Eddie Hagee and Matt Crockett. But Greenwell now taking that position up in 5th. Eddie Hagee holding 3rd still with Crockett right on his bumper. Crockett wants it, but can't quite get it just yet. Now gaining on Christopher Bassinger. But still, Clark holding that just about 0.30 lead. Big run down the front stretch for Christopher Bassinger with a little bit of help from Eddie Hagee that time by.
All right, well, we definitely talked about...
loose.
Oh, what'd you say?
Matt Crockett got on the apron just a little bit there, got very loose. Jason Greenwell now going to be to his inside, entering turns 3 and 4. Lost all the speed out of turn 2.
Yep, as right now as Matt Crockett loses the momentum, Jason Greenwell looking to attack down to the inside. As we are stuck up here in the top 5, guys not settling down at all. Been doing a good bit of shuffling here in the top 7 positions where guys are looking to move. Right now, here we go. Here's the pinch. Greenwell, yep, all right, good job by his spotter telling him, well, this guy's got to run. You block him, he might turn you. Looks like the 15 of Crockett hangs back there just a little bit. He's going to try to use Hagee to his advantage on this turn exit, and he does. Hagee breaking the loose. Letting Crockett go on around. Whew. Deep breath for those guys as we move back here to Nolan Gross. Haven't seen the 0-2 out here at all so far this season, and actually fell off a little bit the last season. Can't forget the blue car with the American flag number. It's 0-2. He's snugging up behind David Lakey, who's unfortunately on the roll backwards here. David Lakey now down 6, currently holding on to the 13th position, 5 seconds off the lead, still churning. Right now as David Lakey's trying to hold on there, guess who's showing up? That looks like Jackson Duke sitting there, 13th. Remember, that guy was dead last, currently sitting in 16th. Not bad here as the yellow flag comes out. I don't know if Ricky Hart is involved in this one. Yep.
He seems to be.
He's going to make
second caution of the night.
Yep, he'll be making a call to his sponsor out here, Advance Auto Parts, as he is hammered up there. I think David Westover might be involved as well, as it looks like possibly a broken toe link.
That car is done. Definitely going to be using his fast repair. I don't know about Ricky Hart Jr. Seems like a little bit of damage on the right front. I'm not sure how much air is really going to affect at Las Vegas. I would assume a lot, but we'll see. That 88 car cannot get into his pit stall. You got to be a certain amount away from the wall, a couple of feet, and he just can't get off the wall, so he might have to tow from his pit stall.
All right, Ricky Hart allowed to go past the pit. Excuse me, try that again. Ricky Hart, getting past the pace car here. It should allow him to get one more time around. He'll get back with the rest of the field, and then he'll go ahead and tuck back into pit road and try to get that car fixed up a little bit. I don't know if it's fast repair worthy, but we'll definitely see what all he has to allow here. All right, well, we left him last time, so we'll go ahead and bring him out this time. Looks like Perfect Shine Auto Spot is going to get another chance here tonight. Second time here tonight as Ricky Hart, and it looks like David Westover may have gotten into it here. Let's take a look. Oh, Ricky Hart. Oh, my gosh.
David Westover, just an innocent bystander. Ricky Hart got sideways by himself on that high side. Westover had nowhere to go.
Wow. What a hit. How did
Westover's having a pretty good night so far.
Yeah, here's Westover trying to avoid. Back up. Bam. Hits the side. See pieces coming off. I think this is the dagger right there. And that's why he's having trouble turning, is when he came into that inside wall. Yeah, you can see that left toe link. So he's got broken steering in the front. I think that's all he's got. Boy. Poor guy. All right, talk a little bit about pit strategy here. Right now, currently our top 5 that have shuffled up, which is Eddie Hagee, Jason Greenwell, Kevin Foster, and both the Crockers out there did not pit. I'm currently reading this right. I don't believe the number 16 pit either. Of Hunter Musselwhite. We'll see if he changes his mind to come on down. This might be an opportunity for him to give a little top off on fuel out there, or maybe throw on an extra set of tires. Looks like most people did take fuel only, but oddly enough, our leader of Keegan Clark, who's forfeit the lead here, 15.3 in the box. That's 4 tires and fuel for this guy.
Definitely on a different strategy from everyone else, but hey, he's not. I'm not sure if this is his first race this season. but I definitely haven't seen him towards the front before, so coming up with his own strategy, and hopefully it works out for him. Ricky Hart Jr., I did see he used his faster pair, so only in the box for a little bit, and his car is completely fine, so Ricky Hart Jr. out of his faster pair.
Boy, that's going to be tough. Only a handful of drivers have been down in the pit road more than once. Drivers I like pointing out is Joshua McQuiggan has been down 3 times, as well as Michael Ramos and Ricky Hart as well. Right now, Bob Berry, I think, is still trying to recover from lap 1, where he ended up getting upside down, if I'm not mistaken. Looking, I think he is currently 11 laps down.
Oh, man.
Well, towing under caution is almost death. You just can't get away from that. That's I think a minimum of 4 minutes. Pace laps are about 1.5 minutes. So yeah, we were well under green before it brought him back in the pit. Hate to see that for him, but hopefully he's able to recover and get back out there. All right, pace car lights are off. We'll be getting ready to go here. Perfect Shine Auto Spa, thank you once again for being our caution sponsor here of the night. Let's go ahead and get this one back under green. We are waiting for Eddie Haggy to take off. This guy is an ace at restarts, and he shows you why. Out front he goes. Gets not but 3 car lengths out front, but Kevin Foster trying to reel him in quick before he scurries away.
Yeah, Kevin Foster, really the driver going to want to be looking at here. Kevin Foster, I believe he picked to win. Very fast all day, made his way up to the front. Now only battling Eddie Haggy.
We're 4 wide here in the back. Yeah, around the Keegan Clark area. Watch Clark as he's slicing through the back here. He is working his way up front. Now Hunter Musselwhite getting caught in it. Right now, everybody's spreading here. Look at this. Oh my gosh. That's the 15 there of Crockett. Right now, almost nudging him. There's the 30 coming down and almost hitting our previous leader. Holy cow. There's a lot of stuff happening here. I would say John Osborne's the cork in the bottle here, as everybody's trying to get past that 3 wide they have up front. That should be Nolan Gross.
Still 3 wide.
Go ahead.
John Osborne just cannot get out of the middle lane. Going to be cleared this time by finally now 2 by 2 by 2. Going to be 3 wide once again down the front straightaway. Cannot escape it.
Boy, once Osborne can get out of there, I think everything will calm down just a little bit. Guzik going to keep the pressure on, though, as he holds down on the bottom. Right now, waiting for the Nike machine to get out of there. Right now, he is in a hot spot. Guys slicing all over the track. We've still got Haggy in the lead, Foster in tow. And that brings us to Jason Greenwell, Mark Allen Bivens, and Marshall Crocker sitting 1 through 5. Now, remember, only person out of those 4 that did pit was Mark Allen Bivens. But we're going to hang back here just a little bit longer here with John Osborne, as I think everything is still not going very well for him, as he's got a ton of problems happening around him. 23 machine slicing in front of him currently as Dylan DeCastro in the Toyota. And boy, look at this sea of cars.
John Osborne cycling almost all the way to the back. Not what he needed. Marshall Crocker Sr. was up top in the top 10 for a while there. Not sure where he made his way down to. But Marshall Crocker Sr. had a really good restart. Was able to stay up there for a while. Now slowly cycling back.
Alrighty, boy. I appreciate you guys all joining us here tonight. As there is some contact, the number 16 is hammering them around. All right, now
great save by David Lakey.
Wow. Caution is out.
Caution.
It is
starting.
No. Is that Michaelis? Yes, it is.
Westover. Oh, yeah, that is Michaelis.
I think Michaelis is around. Duke got hammered. And I think even the driver we hadn't even gotten a chance to talk about tonight, Benjamin Lacey.
Benjamin Lacey. I believe that was the car that was originally stopped on the entry to turn 4, exit at turn 3. Thing is crab walking like crazy.
Boy, he is trying to get that thing into pit road to salvage his race. If he can get into the pit box, fast repair and back out, he should be there before the pace car meets him. Holy cow.
Just about every wheel on that car is facing the wrong way.
Right. It's like taking a pigeon-toed girl to prom. Here we go. Let's see. Greenwall on the outside here. I'm trying to see what... Oof.
A little bit too tight on the 3 wide. Was
right
that
there.
Marshall Crocker Jr. on the bottom?
Whoa. Well, we definitely saw it started here with Benjamin Lacey, and then we'll try to get a little bit closer here. See what happened. This is them mashing it up. Here's the 78. Oop.
It kind of looked like you didn't realize they were 3 wide. I'm not entirely sure, but here comes, heavy hit right to the door. Luckily, not the driver's side door.
Did you see Sikorsky? That dude got so lucky.
I did not see Sikorsky. I want to see it again.
Yeah, the 94 actually went through his car.
Oh, I love it when that happens.
Did not suffer any damage. What a stroke of luck for Sikorsky. But the 78. Did we finally see somebody getting bivouacked here? Oof. Right there.
Oh, yeah. Marshall Crocker Sr. getting involved a little bit, too. He slapped the front end, or I think the rear end of Benjamin Lacey's car. Going to be some damage for him as well.
Yeah, now where I want to see is from the hood here of Cody Welch, as he was looking forward at the 3 wide. Right here. Boy, is he in a prime spot. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah. Boy, Benjamin Lacey. Bummer, dude.
I'm fairly certain Benjamin Lacey still has his quick repair, so hopefully we should see him back out there. Not going to go a lap down. Yep, there it is.
Yep, he's good to go. Yeah, and they're even saying out there, Cody Welch with the narrow miss. Yeah, that was extremely close. I don't think he wants to do that, but I don't know if you guys noticed at the end of that spinning, when Ethan Sikorsky even made it through, Ricky Hart was right there. And he's already used his last lifeline. So
yeah, Ricky Hart was sideways through there.
Yeah, he cannot get in any more trouble if he wants to, put a race together here. We haven't made it to stage. Stage will be at lap number 47. Lap 47 needs to be complete once she flips to lap 48. Normally we wait for about the first 5 to 10 cars to get through, and then we'll have our planned stage caution. That is our third one here of the night. Do want to give another shout out there to, guess who? Yeah,
Perfect Shine Auto Spa.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I guessed it. I got it.
Yeah, buddy. Right on time.
Nothing gets past me.
Oh, my gosh. Whew. All right. Checking out there. Looks like Stella has been on the mark there. Speaking of mark, apparently, hey, we just passed the 900 subscriber mark. Sweet.
Very nice.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. 100 more to go, and I think we'll hit the quad numbers, baby. I'm so excited. Speaking of excited, let's see if anybody can go ahead and hit these shifts the right way as we get back under green. Perfect Shine Auto Spa, away you go. Let's get her back underway here on lap number 30. Boy, they're right back at it. Here we go. Connor Gibson in a little bit of trouble here. Ugh.
Yeah, they're 3 wide just a little bit. Christopher Basker looking low on Cody Welch. Going to be 3 wide into turns number 3 and 4. Kevin Foster riding that high side all the way up there towards the wall. Moving down a little bit low to get a good exit, but Cody Welch just in that middle lane stuck. Be able to get down to the bottom exactly where he needs to be. Christopher Basker up to third, side by side for the lead, entering turn 1. Mark Allen Bivens looking for the lead. Not going to be able to get it this time. Christopher Basker going to go high. He's going to push Eddie Hagee down the back straightaway. Kevin Foster into the outside wall. That's going to mess up everyone behind him. 3 wide. Kevin Foster on the outside. They're going to double it out once again.
Yep, still duke it out here. Looks like Eddie Hagee able to come up with a little extra speed. Squeezes out of there as Chris Passenger and Mark Allen Bivens. Mark Crockett hanging on to the bottom line, kind of skating along that white paint line, staying out of as much trouble as absolutely possible. He has found a lot of success there. Whoa! As it comes back to bite him. A little more trouble. That's going to put him back in the 3 wide yet again with one of our 2 Toyotas that has finally fought himself up to the top 5. He's skated out of there. Now he's up to 4th. Peter Murphy, not bad from the 38.
Yeah, Peter Murphy up to 4th. We ride on board with his rear camera, Cody Welch and Matt Crockett side by side. Matt Crockett doing really, really good this race. Matt Crockett in front of Kevin Foster. Kevin's looking for a way through. Can't quite make it. Oh, side by side contact. Move Eddie Hagee up the track. Mark Allen Bivens in second, Bassinger, your leader now.
Yeah, tons of stuff happening all over the track. It's hard to find a good place to be. As Eddie Hagge, yes, has the lead. The look goes from first to fifth in a matter of a lap.
Sideways.
Hagge's in trouble.
He's going to be able to save it out of turn 4. He's now behind Matt Crockett. Murphy now looking for second. He's going to get it away from Mark Allen Bivens on the bottom. He's going to clear out of turn number 2. Bassinger, still your leader. Murphy hunting him down in that Toyota.
Number 1 enjoying that number 1 spot as well. His Ford is leading the charge as these guys continue to ride it out there. Speaking of riding it out, Kevin Foster through the wall on turn 3.
Kevin Foster been real friends with the wall all race. He's hit it a lot of times. You can see a little bit of damage on his right rear corner panel, but just fine. Now behind Brett Guzik. Brett Guzik making his way up towards the front slowly but surely. He'll make it there at some point today.
Boy, how much longer can these guys keep going 2 to 3 wide here? Kevin Foster now falling down to the 13th position. I'm sure we'll see him back up front yet again, but boy, he's definitely got to calm it down. Kevin Foster is yet to pit so far this race. So a lot of guys who have not pit yet are on the march back. Eddie Hagge being one of them. Jason Greenwell, who's fallen down now to 9th. And he's starting to feel the pressure now of not taking tires. But he's got to outlast another 11 to 12 laps here before they can come down under a scheduled caution. Brett Guzik on the move.
Yeah, Brett Guzik still making his way towards the front. He's going to be able to get around Eddie Hagge this time by as long as there's no traffic immediately up in front of him. Going to have the draft on that high side. Still side by side. Jason Greenwell going a little bit slower than he wanted. And Lake going to be able to clear. Ethan Sikorsky now looking inside of Brett Guzik. Brett Guzik cycling back now.
Yeah, not bad by David Lakey kicking it in the high gear. It looks like Keegan Clark is in some trouble. Where did he go? Is he sideways? Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. No damage on that number 74 Ford Mustang. That's visible on the left side, at least.
All right, let's see if we can get our drone footage out there and take a peek. Mitchell looking good. All right, hey.
Okay.
Hey, if he just looped it, I think that's probably the best thing that could happen. Biggest thing here, do the guys who have not pit, do they pit now?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Going to go green on about lap 41 to 42. That's probably about almost a third of the race through. They got 4 sets of tires in the pits as well as the 5th set on the car. So definitely time to take tires if you haven't yet.
Oh, Cody Welch catches him right here in the back. And
narrowly avoiding that inside wall.
Yeah.
Good save, too.
But man, iRacing is definitely picky and choosy when it comes to cautions.
Gas stayed off the racing surface that entire time, but still threw it out. Yeah, Keegan Clark looked like he thought he might have been clear at the end of the straightaway. Couldn't quite make it there. Maybe overestimated the run that he was going to have.
Yeah, let me
but
see
almost goes around, keeps it under him, so.
Let's see if we can get a little bit closer here. Here we go. Look how close.
Oh.
Boy. All right, well, Kelly Queel's asking for the outside wall to kind of scoot out a little bit for Kevin Foster. I think anything moving here, I don't think right now Keegan Clark wants to see that inside wall come into the track anymore. Otherwise, I don't think he'd have a front end here. All right, Jackson, we got pit stops happening out there. Some you wouldn't think, some actually a little longer than expected here. Yeah, right now I'm showing Keegan Clark 32 and a half seconds down in the box. I think Ricky Hart might be suffering some more damage here as he is hanging out in pit in the advanced auto parts machine. No drivers who have not pit have not come down still. Eddie Hagge still staying out. Kevin Foster still staying out. So whatever it is, they're
confident.
Yeah, they are going to be the ones with the upper hand later on with an extra set of tires. So we'll see how it goes. All right. Unfortunately, we've got a few drivers some laps down. I believe David Westover maybe a lap down here. Hunter Musselwhite, I think, is down 2. Terry Condis down a few as well. Take a quick look here.
Beautiful looking paint scheme. Terry Condis.
No.
Usually running a sporting livery close to this.
That does not say what I think it says on the hood.
Oh, it says what you think it says. Terry Condis loves running these types of paint schemes. I believe there's a little bit more on the hood.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
Didn't read it, but probably something funny.
Yeah, we better just... Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Wow. Sometimes I try not to get that, but I was like, let's take a look at... Wait a minute. That's not good. Well, I suffer from I guess the prior of the rest, but yeah. All right, Terry Condis running the vasectomy car. I've never seen anything like this before in my life. Okay, I thought Crunchyroll's pretty different. All right, let's go ahead and let it go. Chris Bassinger, here we go. Green flag back out. After 4 cautions here of the night, we still have the stage caution left to go.
Yeah, Christopher Bassinger had a great jump off that restart. Peter Murphy, the only one behind him, side by side behind Peter Murphy. Joshua McQuiggan, I believe he won last week or the week before that. Either way, Joshua McQuiggan, a winner so far this season. Started in the back, now making his way up to 3rd or 4th, actually. Christopher Bassinger coming down pit road.
All right, looks like an unscheduled stop here. Something's wrong. And I don't know if he's been penalized, maybe for making a changeover at the line on the restart. Everything seemed okay, but no can do. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm sorry. the car. Wow. Dylan DeCastro is now up to 6th. That puts both of our Toyotas here in the top 10. Peter Murphy, Matt Crockett, Josh McQuiggan sitting 1, 2, and 3. Mark Allen Bivens unfortunately falling out just a little bit here. As he still keeps churning along. Right now, only fuel and go for him there on lap number 19. He holds on to 4th, but boy, it looks like he's starting to stack up in the field with Dylan DeCastro actually leading this charge. Moving back to David Lakey, Zach Michaelis, and moving on to Eddie Hagge, Ethan Sikorsky, and currently Kevin Foster. This is our clump right here that is aiming for what? Stage points. We got to get the top 10 in there, and they are trying to squeeze through. Driver wants to get stage points early. It's going to be Ethan Sikorsky.
No.
But guess who's not? Oh, Ricky Hart, no.
Ricky Hart, no. Ethan Sikorsky probably could have had that save, but he held the brake to try to keep it safe, but everyone just kept on piling in. Definitely the wrong choice. Not that he knew in that moment. Oh, collected once again. Ricky Hart Jr. and Ethan Sikorsky. Ethan Sikorsky still has his quick repair, but Ricky Hart Jr. right rear toe link is bent. Probably going to be done for the night. Oh no, Ricky. He was probably fine. Not that I know, but it seemed like he was a little bit fine until that hit right there bent his toe link. Oh, Ricky. I would just...
Yeah, I think he might have had enough. We'll see if he returns. I feel a Days of Thunder move coming here where it's changed my tires. Stella, remind me out there, I am fairly certain this is that rivalry flaring up from season 13. Wasn't it Ricky Hart and Ethan Sikorsky trying to kill each other at the end of the season?
No, it was Paul Wilson, Ricky Hart's teammate.
Whew, okay, good. Because I was like, bruh, dude, I thought this was going to be bad. I said, that is not good.
I believe Ethan Sikorsky went around by himself, and then later accidentally collected Ricky Hart Jr. Ricky didn't know where to go.
What a great camera angle. Did you see how many other people were going ahead and choosing this to be a Baja race? Look at Cody Welch flying to the inside here. Right there. Whoa, and then catches in front of Greenwell. There's a ricochet. Oh my gosh.
Everyone in the grass. Look at how many tire marks are there. And then Ricky Hart Jr. trying to turn it around.
Wow. I think Ricky Hart might be our first one to take it back to the garage here tonight. We'll see if he does return. That car was banged up pretty bad out there. Wow. This is amazing. All right, guys are coming down pit, and this is where I would question. We should be close enough that this...
If everyone pits for tires right now, we're still going to have tires towards the end. So this kind of gets rid of the saving tires for a later strategy. We definitely have enough, so I expect to see everyone who hasn't pit yet down pit road. I see Eddie Hagee going down. And I see a 16 car going down, Muscle White. But a couple that I expected to see have not gone down. So definitely some odd strategies here that I can't quite wrap my head around.
Uh-oh. Went through like 20 boxes there. Bro. can't do that. 4, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, I'm that guy. All right, here we go. Ooh, Osborne. Yeah, I would question right now, is this going to count as our stage?
What lap is the stage on?
47.
I would believe this will count as the stage then.
I know, that's kind of why I'm really confused. Drivers like right now, like David Westover. I mean, he came down on lap 17. He's the one who's been out there the longest currently. And I think he would want to pit here. All right, well, we'll hold our breath. We'll see if we can...
We got one more lap here. Actually, now that I think about it, iRacing changed their when you can pit. You can only pit on 3 to go. You can no longer pit when it's coming to 1 to go.
This is insane. Insanity, I say. Pace car lights should be off. I'm not mistaken. That should be John Osborne squeaking out of there real quick. 42.38 seconds.
Barely going to make it out of pit road in front of the pace car.
Yeah. He's going to have the hammer down here so he can get caught up. Right now, the choice to win here tonight is Kevin Foster. And it looks like, yep. Kevin Foster pit on lap 45, 4 tires and fuel, so he'll be one of the guys out there that should have a little pep to his step here when we get back under green. This Perfect Shine Auto Spa once again is getting their money's worth tonight. A little, few more cautions than expected. Appreciate you guys joining us out there in the chat, guys. Keep lighting it up there. I definitely try to respond to you guys when it's appropriate. I know we're starting to get in Bill and his Mrs. D's nuts car out there. I got to be a little careful. Ricky looping around a bunch of times there. Lead pace car should be off this time live, so we should get ready to go here. See how Peter Murphy does. He's going to get to restart here. Here we go. Honestly, I love that outside lane choice, and he's going to take it.
Peter Murphy leading for the first time today. He's been real fast in second and third, but finally having some clean air out front. Let's see how fast he can get away with it. Already 3/10 away. Mark M. Bivens gaining into 3 and 4, but now losing it. Peter Murphy definitely getting away. Matt Crockett a little sideways out of turn 4. Couple cars on the wall back there.
Yeah, got everybody waiting for those new tires to seed in here. Drivers starting to smack off the wall yet again. Right now we've got guys trying to figure out where they're going to be. I believe that was Dylan DeCastro knocking it off the wall there in the number 23 car. As we see these guys finally slow down. A little bit of single file racing here. Somebody's realizing, hey, we got a lot more race to go here. We haven't even broken past the halfway point, and we've got already a handful of cautions. Right now, we've got our eyes here on Benjamin Lacey, currently sitting in 17th. Remember, he's already used his faster pair here, and he's right now in the hot zone. He would love to get out of here, but boy, I don't know if he's got enough time to do it, as he is slicing up to the top lane at turn exit speed. Something's going on. It looks like tons of people are passing him here.
He's got a lot of damage on that front lip. It's facing inwards, definitely losing downforce, especially on exit. Absolutely not what you want at Las Vegas. So Benjamin Lacey definitely next caution going to have to bring it down for some more repairs. But currently that car not running at its best, definitely dealing with some handling issues in that number 7 Mustang. Hopefully we can see him get back up there at some point, but right now, not looking good for Benjamin Lacey.
Nope. Let's move up to Michael Ramos here. Ramos now under fire with the 27 machine. Little bump there from the 23 of Castro, and Cody Welch uses that to his advantage. Welch now back up to 8th.
Yeah, a lot of cars getting a little sideways out of turn 4, but everyone seems to be able to collect it every single time. Bivens up to 2nd. Crockett still looking for it. Here comes David Lakey. Highest he's been all day. I'm fairly certain he's not going to look for 2nd.
Yeah, a lot of guys are shuffling around here a little bit. Jackson Duke up to one of his highest spots here in the 08 Bet MGM car. Right now his Chevrolet is trying to get right in behind Ramos, and he is. Now he's going to switch him up, move down to the bottom. All right, now Peter Murphy probably in the safest spot on the track, half a second in front of the rest of the field here. But is he frying those tires off too early? We'll have to wait and see. In about another 10 laps, we'll definitely know. But look at this. Jackson Duke toward the top, then down to the bottom again, sliding all over the track right now. He seems in control, but I don't know if I would want to be making 3 lane changes throughout the turn. I don't know if he's starting to feel pretty confident where that car is running. But that thing is getting a huge run now as he rolls in right behind Mark Allen Bivens.
Yeah, Mark Allen Bivens got a little loose out of turn 4 off the bumper of Matt Crockett. Matt Crockett now going to get around him on the high side. His rear tire's probably overheated. Ramos getting around him on the outside. The 08 of Jackson now looking inside. Not going to be able to make it there that time, as now he loses 2 positions to the 19 of Joshua McQuiggan and the 85 of Cody Welch. We're now on board with Cody Welch as he tries to get around Mark Allen Bivens. Going to have a big run down the front straightaway with help by Joshua McQuiggan.
Yeah, we see right now with Cody Welch in the 85 getting to the outside of the 76. Right now, Mark Allen Bivens trying to hang in there from the M&D Outfitters. Right now, sliding on past, and guess who's around? Oh, no! Welch
Kevin
gets out of
Foster
there.
And Keegan Clark already used his faster pair. Or actually, no, I think he didn't. But he's definitely going to have to this time. The 13 of Christopher Fiera has a blowing engine. Kevin Foster got a lot of contact with that inside wall. But Christopher Fiera seems to have gotten the worst of it.
Boy, did Benjamin Lacey get involved? Because he's right there, sitting 21st. All right, we'll definitely have to...
No, I think he was just back there.
Man, what in the world is going on right now? I'm sure Keegan Clark starting on the pole here tonight and has just been absolutely obliterated. Oh, there's it. You see, okay, Cody Welch
Mark
is
Allen
sideways
Bivens.
first.
Yeah, Mark Allen Bivens got a little tight, got into the side of Cody Welch. Cody Welch, great save, but everyone behind him just bobbling, thinking that he's going to wreck. They're all going all over the place, and they all end up wrecking themselves. 2 accidents going on. John Osborne on the outside wall on Keegan Clark, as well as Kevin Foster and Christopher Fiera going around off each other towards the bottom. Christopher Baskinger a little bit involved, really sent Kevin Foster around, finished him off.
13 taking a header straight into the wall. Oof. That's a rough ride there. See if I can find us a little bit of a different angle here of how Keegan Clark hangs outside line. So Welch, Fiera into the wall. Fiera coming back down. Greenwell almost misses it. Yeah, give it to him here. It looks like he's turning toward the right, toward the wall. I think that's on purpose.
Oh, maybe.
Take another look at it here. Look at Fiera. Fiera right here watching Clink. Off to the side. Boy, Greenwell almost gets knocked there.
Bam. All four wheels off the ground when he hit that inside wall. We should get a bivouac counter.
All right. That is definitely possible there. So we saying Bivens got back into another one? 'Cause he's been around a few cautions here tonight. All right, Kelly Queel not happy out there about Kevin Foster. He'll be starting down here in the 23rd position. Looks like that car's still salvageable out there.
A little bit of damage on that horse on the front end of that grill. But other than that, looking okay. Should be all right towards the end of the race, as long as he doesn't get any more.
It looks like a scheduled pit stop here for Eddie Hagge. Came down for fuel and heading back out. Back down into pit road is going to be Kevin Foster. I don't know if this is the right call here. I'm fairly certain we are still getting ready to go. I thought pace car lights are off.
Greenwell leading for the first time tonight. Good to see him up there. Nolan Gross up the highest that he's gotten all season. Ethan Sikorsky finally up where he wants to be.
All right,
go green this time.
Yeah, lead given up by Peter Murphy as him and company all behind him came down into pit road on lap number 57. So these guys got older tires, and who has the oldest? That's right, our leader. Jason Greenwell came down on lap number 38 is the last time this guy came in, and he's got a ton of nose damage. Oh boy. We'll see if the 83 can fight these guys off. Let's take a look back.
So far through turns 1 and 2, looking good, but not quite up all the way to speed. We'll see really how his car will handle in turns 3 and 4. Nolan Gross with no damage on that front bumper, as well as Christopher Bassinger. Let's see if he was able to catch at all. Going to be able to catch a little bit, definitely a little bit more downforce for Nolan Gross and Christopher Bassinger, but if Jason Greenwell can just stay in front of him and they stay side by side, should be pretty good for Jason Greenwell, especially when the fire starts.
Greenwell getting a little bit loose heading into one. This is going to give Nolan Gross an opportunity. Able to stick half the car in there right now. Clink. Goes ahead and bumps the 83 to the outside. Bassinger decides to hang on and stay right with him. I thought maybe he might slide down to the bottom and create 3 wide. But look who's sitting right behind right now. Ethan Sikorsky. Remember I said how lucky he was with Welch going through him there. And he has been able to get away. Excuse me, that was Benjamin Lacey that went through him. Tough racing up here in the front right now. Any mistake is going to take out half our field here as they are fighting 2 wide and Bassinger thinking about 3. As you can see, he's making his own path.
Ethan Sikorsky now looking low under Jason Greenwell, the same lane that Nolan Gross just got around. 3 wide out of turn number 4 for second. Ethan Sikorsky with the best run down the front straightaway. He's got a little bit of help from the 84 of David Lakey, but Christopher Bassinger making that high side work. They're both going to clear Jason Greenwell now, side by side between Bassinger and Ethan Sikorsky for a second, but Nolan Gross getting away from the field. Both Nolan Gross and Ethan Sikorsky both looking for their first win in the Bandit Racing League. Definitely going to be exciting to see.
Yep, trying to come up with a plan here. Jason Greenwell as he's on the roll out of the top 5. Right now, Nolan Gross trying to squeeze away very quickly as he finally shows up here to the Bandit Racing League. Chris Bassinger, Ethan Sikorsky, who got a little antsy heading into turn number 1, drops it off the pavement there and gets back onto the racing surface. And fortunately, nothing came of it, and no problems came out of that car. So the 94 still charging forward. Connor Gibson out there in the snap-on machine right now. He is currently sitting in second. That's him in the 31, charging forward. Nolan Gross might be in some trouble here.
Yeah, everyone being able to gain right up to Nolan Gross. Connor Gibson down to the inside. They're now side by side for the lead. Christopher Bassinger looks high, looks to get a run out of turn number 2. Will he be able to get one? Going to use that high side. Connor tries to get high. He's going to be able to clear. He's going to block Christopher Bassinger. Now he's going to go back down to the bottom. Nolan Gross blocking that bottom. Kevin Foster. Why did I say Kevin Foster? Nolan Gross blocking the bottom. Connor Gibson gets a little tight out of turn 4. Yep. Here comes Ethan Sikorsky in the Crunchyroll Ford Mustang. He's down to the bottom. The inside of Connor Gibson out of turn number 2. Going to have a run using that side draft just a tiny bit out of the corner. Not going to be enough that time by.
As Connor Gibson does try to fight there with Nolan Gross, this gives Ethan Sikorsky a chance to kind of hack away at him, and a little bit of that run he was getting. Nolan Gross down off the track a little bit, trying to break this draft. Right now, Connor Gibson's got his number here and may have made a mistake. Nolan Gross currently up 22 positions from his original qualifying spot, holding the number 1 area. But can Connor Gibson run him down? They separate behind him. That's not going to help Nolan Gross with any sort of downforce in the back, as right now the 31 machine having to back out of that turn. But watch Sikorsky on the outside here. Going to try to cross him up. Gross all over the place, and he's creating a problem there for the 94 Ford. All Chevrolets here in the top 5 currently as Ethan Sikorsky has his only Ford currently running down Nolan Gross from the outside.
Yeah, Ethan Sikorsky putting that car on the edge, finally made it to his outside down the front straightaway. He's going to use that run down the back straightaway. He's going to clear just about almost entering turns number 3 and 4. Had a big run, but Ethan Sikorsky leading down the back straightaway for the first time today. Going to be able to make it to that corner panel, side drafting just a little bit out of turn number 4. Still a big run. He's going to lead that time at the line. I was wrong. He's not. But now trying to make it 3 wide. Joining the party is Mark Allen Bivens. Not going to be able to do it that time by Ethan Sikorsky. Finally now settles down behind Nolan Gross. Nolan's going to clear him out of turn 2. Not going to be able to make that high side work. David Lakey trying to get around Mark Allen Bivens on that high side. And the number 84. A little bit of a run 3 wide out of turn number 4.
Yeah, Lakey setting it up dead center here right now. Lakey, as he pushes on through. And Mark Allen Bivens trying to find another groove as well as they hold to the inside. That's going to go ahead and march Ethan Sikorsky on back, and check who else is coming into the picture. Cody Welch in the 85 Chevrolet. They are moving up front, and right now Nolan Gross is in hot water here. He's going to be looking at Mark Allen Bivens. Little knock to the side there of the 83 machine, which has now pushed Jason Greenwell down to the 18th position. That guy's yet to stop the bleeding since. But battle for the lead, Mark Allen Bivens is going to have it.
I believe Mark Allen Bivens is still our point leader. See, now goes for the lead. Gets a little bit of side draft from Nolan entering turns number 1 and 2. Now pushed down the back straightaway from David Lakey. David Lakey trying to get up to the lead. Hasn't been there all day. Making it 3 wide. He looks for it out of turn 4. He's going to get there. Just barely. Mark Allen Bivens now clearing. He's going to be your new leader out of turn 4.
Yeah, was looking pretty nasty there for Mark Allen Bivens as it got away. Nolan Gross in a terrible spot as it continues to march back. Almost looks like Talladega here. We got guys shuffling on back if they get out of line, and that is unfortunately going to cost him. Peter Murphy has split it back there 3 wide just a moment ago. He goes ahead and fends off Ethan Sikorsky, but Ethan Sikorsky back at the line trying to see if he can run him down, but it looks like Peter Murphy is going to go ahead and run away from him. All 3 Chevrolets sitting in our podium positions. Peter Murphy getting a little kind of a crummy entrance there to turn number 1. That's going to cost him here, but watch as he tries to run down Cody Welch. Ethan Sikorsky sits in 5th, and I believe Dylan Nicastro right now is looking at Nolan Gross saying, all right, buddy, get out of the way. I got a flock of cars behind me. Let's go.
Yeah, Nolan Gross just cycling back through the field. Nicastro looking inside. They're going to make it 3 wide, 4 wide across the line. 4 wide entering turns number 1 and 2. Nolan Gross in the middle of it in the hot seat. He's going to lose even more positions. Big run by that 19 car of Joshua McQuiggan out of turn number 2.
Whoa, Lacey.
Caution flag comes out. Nolan Gross, Benjamin Lacey, Marshall Crocker Sr., someone else in front of them. Someone else had to have caused the caution because when the caution came out, no one was even sideways.
Yeah, Benjamin Lacey was hitting along the side there of the 0-2 of Nolan Gross. I noticed Nolan Gross was way off pace and started rolling backwards, and then Benjamin Lacey just couldn't seem to get out of the way. And it looked like a little nudge there to the quarter panel to try to squeeze on past, but that just unfortunately did not work. As we pass over the halfway point here of this race, we find ourselves back under caution yet again. Here we go. Let's see if I can take a look. Top side maybe to see what happens. There's a little touch here. And Nolan Gross getting a little bit loose. And this is where I see Benjamin Lacey rotate back into him. Cross passenger's nose. And around they go.
Yeah, Westover involved a little bit once again. Westover kept his car clean after he got his fast repair. Now we're going to have a little bit of damage on that front bumper. Was running pretty all right until just now, once again.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be a problem up there with Guzik, but you can see Benjamin Lacey trying to send it in here. And I think once there was contact between these two, that was it. Boy, Greenwell. Greenwell, yes. Oh my gosh. That's twice this dude has avoided death. Wow. All right, Jason Greenwell. This guy couldn't get any luckier. Let's see this again.
He did not let go of the throttle one bit.
No, he just stayed in it. He said, "You know what? Let's go for it."
That's how you do it.
Oh my!
That's how you do it.
Oh my gosh! Oh wow! All right, Jason Greenwell. I guarantee you, I'm gonna have to peel his hands off that steering wheel. That was rough. So unfortunately, the one who gets the worst of it here is Benjamin Lacey. Remember, he ended up having to use this fast repair, so this may be the end here for the number 7 Ford. The film in the wild car, who had a heck of a show for the last couple weeks, and unfortunately, it looks like the end of his night here tonight. There we go. There's Marshall Crocker Jr. squeezing out of there. That's an interesting paint scheme as well. Rogue Energy.
I think Rogue Energy has been Marshall Crocker's sponsor ever since he was the broadcaster for the league. So Rogue Energy been with Marshall Crocker for a long time now.
Cool. All right. Let's see him drive on off, get back up to the front. Looks like pit stops happened all at 75. Guys took different strategies. One I want to circle here is David Lakey in the front. Fuel and go. Boy, yeah, and everybody else's tires. Tires. Boy, that's going to be a gutsy call. Marshall Crocker was down in there for 58 seconds. Kevin Foster down home for only 7. Tough night for a lot of drivers here. Appreciate Perfect Shine. Auto Spot. We'll see David Lakey. He is the one taking us to our restart here. We'll be back underway here in just a moment. There we go. Yeah, waits to the very last part there of the restart zone, seeing if he can get Bivens to jump.
Not going to be able to do it, though. Bivens still with a good restart. Only about 1 to 2 car lengths back. Going to have a big run on him. Cody Welch is already to the bumper. He's loose out of turn number 2. Ever going to be able to get around him. Going to be able to collect himself. Cody Welch now losing a couple positions, staying behind David Lakey. Ever get around him on that outside lane. Peter Murphy a lot faster than Mark Allen Bivens and Joshua McQueen, but he's in the outside wall. David Lakey blinking even more. Side by side for the lead. Joshua McQuiggan wants it.
Yeah, I think I lost a little bit there as Lakey was losing it there. Lakey, I think, starting to feel the pain of not taking tires. McQuiggan in the 19 has taken the lead, but kisses it right off the wall. Bivens is looking to attack, back under caution, so fortunately he holds on. But I believe Michael Ramos is our driver around, and it looks like Brett Guzik.
Not too much damage from both these cars until...
Almost too early. Almost said it too early. Ooh.
Almost.
Yeah, 27 Ford. It looks like Michael Ramos and Brett Guzik are our guys involved here. And we'll try to wind it up. Yeah, we'll say it. 8 cautions here on the night. I was thinking about 7, but no, we had a caution and then had to ride it out a few extra laps for the stage break.
Yep.
I'm going to have to come up with a new little whoosh whoosh sign here for Perfect Shine Auto Spa. I think we about plumb more of this one out. All right, let's take a look. Let's see what happens. Guzik on the outside up top here. Boy, tell me he doesn't ricochet off the wall. Yep.
Collects Bassinger, collects Ramos. Bassinger going to be able to get through fairly clean.
Oh,
Kevin Foster.
Oh, my God. Ow. Oh, my
Close
gosh.
one for Kevin Foster. Hit that outside wall, but better than hitting Brett Guzik.
Nothing worse than committing and then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, wow. And if missing the wreck wasn't hard enough, but then you come up to the wreck and the wreck then changes direction. Look at Kevin Foster's view here. All right, there's the smoke. Here it comes around. Look at a car passing him to the outside, so he's lost his outside escape lane. Ugh. Wow.
Yeah, hopefully not too much damage for that 8 machine of Kevin Foster. Kevin Foster out of fast repairs already, but he's going to take 4 tires. So yeah, definitely not too much damage.
Holy cow. I am I am blown away right now. I am maybe we should get the hold of the guy from the GFR team. It might be time. Pace car lights are still on. That means we got another round here. Maybe we have an opportunity to grab a hold of him here. Kevin Foster, you got a copy of him here, buddy?
I got you.
Okay, well, all right. I don't have O2 tanks here. I'm sweating bullets, and I'm not even in the car. I don't think you have many lifelines left here, brother. What do we? How do we stay safe?
I'm telling you, I've been dodging bullets all night. Stay safe. Just, I don't know. Just try to zig when they're zagging and zagging when they zig, and thank you, Cletus, for that. And man, it's been yeah. There's been some people bouncing off the wall coming across the track. I've went through the middle. I've been around. I've been hit. It's been crazy, but you know what? It's Vegas. It's high, wide. It's handsome. It's it's pretty much wide open all night. And you know what? Good thing is we got 55 laps here left, and it's just going to be an exciting finish. And I hope all the fans stay tuned to the end, because it's just going to be a ride. Hope you enjoy it.
Kevin, I don't know how much more I can take of this here, buddy. I can't.
It's
you were clear, and then it come back up the track, and we took a ride along. I don't know how much more I can do. All right, buddy, try to get that big red propane in there right now. I think Marshall Crocker needs you to get him off that 0-3 start here.
I got you, buddy. Don't worry. I'll give it a shot.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Kevin Foster with the GFR team. We get a hold of him, and I guarantee he's probably had him enough here. Holy cow. All right. 8th caution complete here on the night. And we get restarted back on lap number 83. Josh McQuiggan, Mark Allen Bivens, Ethan Sikorsky, and Peter Murphy in our front 2 rows as we get back underway. Here we go, getting the CBD 135.
Yeah, single filing out through the entire top 5. Exactly what they needed. Josh McQuiggan leading at the moment, but Bivens right on his bumper. But Ethan Sikorsky now battling Cody Welch. Cody Welch looks inside for 4th. Not going to be able to make it that time. Into the outside wall goes Ethan Sikorsky.
A lot of drivers happening up front. I do want to kind of point out Jason Greenwell has only pit 2 times tonight. Last time was back on lap 75 with everybody else. So fresh tires for the number 83. I think he's going to be our dark horse out there. No one's counting him in, but I got a feeling he's going to be definitely one we're going to be talking about later into this race, as the 83 Fanatec car is sitting in 6th right behind Cody Welch. And Welch has been fast here all night, gaining 7 from his original qualifying position, but that is not as fast as Josh McQuiggan. 25 positions gained to get the lead.
Yeah, Josh McQuiggan has been on a tear all day, making his way up to the front. Hasn't quite got involved in any bad incidents. I think he still has his faster pair. So Josh McQuiggan definitely has the skill and the will to be able to get up to the front and done it safely.
Running out of real estate is Josh McQuiggan, though, as Mark Allen Bivens stabs his car in through 3 and 4, gets that lead lap, and boy, that was close. The 19 Ford goes ahead and lets him on by. I would say let him on by, because right now Mark Allen Bivens is driving like he stole this car. 19 going to switch him up. Good call. Great move, but Peter Murphy siding with Mark Allen Bivens. That's going to push him ahead.
Yeah, Peter Murphy with a big run down the back straightaway. He's standing right in the back bumper of Mark Allen Bivens. Mark Allen Bivens going to be able to clear into turn 3. But Peter Murphy now running that high side with clean air right in front of him. Exactly what he wanted, trying to make it work on that high side. Looking for the lead.
Yeah, who's going to take the opportunity to try to attack that leader before he gets away? Josh McQuiggan's a big one they went ahead and highlighted for me at the beginning of the race. They said that 19 Napa Auto Parts car has got it on a roll, and be careful, he's dangerous out there. And I don't mean dangerous as put you into the wall. This guy is one to beat. So right now I think Cody Welch has made his choice. He chooses the bottom. But sitting behind him is Connor Gibson. He's trying to get on the south kid. Maybe we'll have to call the broken tool guy here, as right now we are currently seeing him sitting in 4th, now 5th, and now kind of shuffling around, as Cody Welch would love to see himself shoot up to the front. Bivens still holds the lead, though, but Peter Murphy looking for a gap.
Yeah, Peter Murphy still running that high side by himself. Ethan Sikorsky's been trying to follow him, but just can't quite make it work as well as he is. Cody Welch now sliding up towards the top lane. Just for a moment there as he heads back down. Ethan Sikorsky heads back down. Ethan Sikorsky going to take the low lane just like everyone else. Oh, Peter Murphy into the outside wall. Very loose out of turn number 2. To be able to collect it 3 wide off the corner. Looking to make it almost 4. Keeping it steady, keeping it together.
Peter Murphy putting it into the wall there. Great job. A round of applause goes out for 38 Toyota holding it together. It could have been nasty if he ricocheted again or clipped it heading down the backstretch. Fortunately, he does not give up, though, and is trying to clearance that wall maybe for Kevin Foster and Kelly Queel out there. Right now, you see Foster squeaks on by as he barely runs out of real estate here. Boy, real estate may be free in some areas, but not here, not at Las Vegas. There's a lot of trouble out there, but Mark Allen Bivens still trying to defend that spot, and I would say right now, Josh McQuiggan knows exactly what he's doing, and I think he's trying to use up Mark Allen Bivens' right rear tire.
Yeah, Mark Allen Bivens driving it really, really hard in there. Joshua McQuiggan just trying to hold the lead. Cody Welch looks high, tries to get up there with Mark Allen Bivens. He's going to push him just a tiny bit down the back straight. I'm not sure if he was close enough to really make an effect, but Mark Allen Bivens with a big run. Joshua McQuiggan possibly going to clear. He's going to be able to clear down on the front straightaway. Joshua McQuiggan now has control of both lanes.
Kevin Foster breaks into the top 10 currently. That means Cody Welch is looking for number 2, as Mark Allen Bivens is now caught to the outside. I would say right now, I'm hoping he has set up that car for the outside line, because he's going to be running it here for a while. Normally we've seen Mark Allen Bivens going down to that white paint, but unfortunately he's now going to be greeting that yellow wall. So he is going to be having some trouble here if he is not set up or ready for this. But every driver that comes to his inside, I guarantee you he's starting to fold in that passenger door a little bit here, saying, all right, man, I got to get down to the bottom. Lap 93. Boy, he's got a long way to go here, less than 40, and he's got to figure out what he's going to do.
Yeah, especially I still expect to see one more pit stop if we go green all the way. I don't think these drivers are going to be able to make it all the way to the end on this current fuel run. So definitely going to see some strategy if we go green here, but Mark Ellen Bivens just holding it down that outside, holding it down on that outside. We've seen most of the drivers that try to run that outside run super high up near the wall or towards the middle, but Mark Ellen Bivens trying to run as low as he can. He's going to be clear towards the bottom. He's going to look for the crossover on Joshua McQuiggan. He's going to be able to make it there. That time, side drafting down the back straightaway. New leader once again is Mark Ellen Bivens. Joshua McQuiggan holding it on that outside lane. He's going to be able to have a little bit of a run down the back or down the front straightaway. Cody Welch trying to choose a lane, but now side by side at the line once again.
McQuiggan fist bumps the wall coming out of 4 here. That's going to give Cody Welch an opportunity to see if they can attack. Now, as they continue to press on here, they have made a half a second lead over the rest of the field. So currently, this may be up to our top 3 guys as Ramos is trying to come up with a little extra speed. Well, driver that was right there in the fight with him was Jason Greenwell, but looked like some trouble had happened with the 83. Looks like a bad turn has shuffled him back, allowing now Kevin Foster to go ahead and move up to the 8th position where he normally qualifies for every race. And Brett Guzik. Now remember, Guzik ended up spinning around there on lap number 79. Look who's back in the fight. Guzik get caught in the center. Right now he's stuck behind Foster.
Yeah, Guzik did not want to make it 3 to 4 wide, backed right out of that. Kevin Foster got a little tight, almost sent Greenwell around that last time by, but that's why Kevin Foster moves back so far. Peter Murphy trying to make his way up back towards the front.
Yeah, remember that Peter Murphy started up there toward the front. Couple of bad turns has shuffled him back. Guzik known for saving tires, and this might be his time. He just wants to make sure he's within striking distance. A good pit stop, not speeding on the way down and exiting with 4 tires and fuel. He may have this race somewhat under his wing here, but he's got a lot of work left to do. Let's move up to the Snap-on Tools machine here of the 31 Chevrolet of Connor Gibson, who's currently battling it out here with Michael Ramos. Right now, these guys do need to work together as they have fallen off by now 0.7 of a second. They've got to start catching up, or these front 3 will run away. This is going to be tough. I would say as soon as there's a runaway here, Jackson, normally this thing goes green to the end.
Yeah, usually, especially at a track like Las Vegas, very open turns, only letting off, no braking. So yeah, once we get finally single filed out for the first time in this race, hopefully we should see green flag the rest of the way. Hopefully some green flag pit stops as well. But Ethan Sikorsky is still trying to make it work on that outside. He's in 6th, looking for 5th, trying to get around the not-so-Sour Patch Kid of Connor Gibson.
All right, there he is, Connor Gibson, as we speak about him. Currently, he's working his way on past Ethan Sikorsky. He gets it. Let's move back here just a little bit. If I'm not mistaken, that is Zach Michaelis there to the inside. I believe sharing the same paint scheme there. And another snap-on machine as he is looking to work here on the inside of Jason Greenwell. Taking a peek up here at the lead yet again. Here we go. Mark Allen Bivens down to the inside. The Napa Auto Parts machine outside. Bivens going to have to follow.
Yeah, Joshua McQuiggan still taking that lead once again. They've been side by side battling this whole time. Cody Welch just watching. Cody Welch is the type of driver to let these 2 drivers duel it out, use up their tires, and then later come in. I think there's a chance that Cody Welch isn't even trying to get around them right now and is just waiting till it's easy prey.
Oh, 110%. If that's Cody Welch's plan, that thing may work to perfection here. I just want to know how you were able to save tire and yet maintain pace with these guys. And right now, here we go. Cody Welch going ahead and nicking one off. Seeing if he can go ahead and put Josh McQuiggan here to the back. That way the 2 Chevrolets can follow each other around the track. Bivens going to hold it. Great job there as Bivens is going to look to work down on Nickerson's lead on his amount of lead laps, and into the wall is going to be John Osborne. No caution, though, as his car is broken and drivers are slinging past him here.
They might throw a caution for that. Can't quite steer. Looks like he can a little bit.
And back into the wall again here.
Definitely a hazard.
Yeah, right now we are seeing currently John Osborne coming out of turn number 2. Looks like a right front broken toe link, cutting down in front of the rest of the field here. He's having trouble getting around the track, and he is definitely holding on there. I don't know, seeing no caution has come out. They may go ahead and hold it here. As John Osborne working his way down into pit road. as all this was happening, it looks like, looks like number 16 might have spun out there, but I believe we have a battle for the lead. Welch trying to hold on to it, and guess who's into the wall? Mark Allen Bivens.
Great save by Mark Allen Bivens out of turn number 4, but Cody Welch finally taking advantage of both Mark Allen Bivens and Joshua McQuiggan. They've been using up their tires like crazy for the past probably about 10 laps now. Cody Welch taking the lead away. Cody Welch leading for the first time today, I do believe, and definitely getting away with it already. About 3/10 away. Mark Allen Bivens running that white line, gaining a lot out of that corner. Might see Mark Allen Bivens even later in the run come back to the bumper of Cody Welch.
Holy cow. So we got to come up on less than about 30 laps left to go in this bout here. Cody Welch starting outside the top 10 this race, is holding on to the lead currently, but we're still kind of poking around. Lap 75 is when they pit. There may be a possibility these guys are going to have to come down in the next 10 laps or so and have to get fuel and tires. I would say maybe a quick splash of fuel, get them back out there. Unfortunately, it does look like John Osborne. A bunch of damage there, maybe used the fast repair. 15.27, he's back out on the track, but unfortunately he's going to be a few laps down as he's going to be chasing Kevin Foster to get back onto the lead lap, or at least into the lucky dog spot. Driver coming down into pit road now is Nolan Gross. Right now he is tangling up out there as he comes down into pit road on lap 104. So we are starting to see some strategy here of guys coming down a little bit earlier. Drivers like Michael Ramos, though, are the ones I like circling here, is looking at, yes, he's been down pit road 7 times. You may think his pit crew is kind of tired of him right now, but he last pit on lap 80, so he's got 5 more laps of fuel left. Is that enough to squeak it to the end? Jackson, I don't think so here, buddy.
I don't think so. But yeah, definitely Nolan Gross was up front there towards the middle of the race. Hopefully if he undercuts, I think he's thinking about undercutting the entire field and hopefully getting back up towards the lead if he makes his calculations correctly. Obviously, after this pit stop, everyone's going to be able to make it to the end, both on tires and fuel. I think a couple of these drivers are still going to have a couple sets of tires left in the pits at the end of this race. So definitely going to be interesting to see at the end. But Cody Welch still getting away from Mark Allen Bivens just slightly every single lap, only about 1,000th a lap.
Boy, if there was a position...
Mark Allen Bivens might be sticking with him.
Normally you're okay in a position, especially when you're in the lead, being out in the clean air. But right now, if I were Cody Welch, I would be almost the most nervous. If you were not pitting in time or having enough time to pit or pitting too early, this could end up costing Cody Welch the race. And right now, Cody Welch has been in quite a drought here lately. And I think Jennifer out there, yep, I see her out there in the chat. There you are. Right now, kind of rooting it on. But take a look, Mark Allen Bivens trying to do a little strategy there. Push him up into the turn and make a quick pass. That's going to give him 3 car lengths out front. Cody Welch now going to be chasing half a second. Yep, coming into pit road. He's sideways. Boy, yeah, no, he sped big time.
Yeah, definitely sped down pit road. Cody Welch, not what he needed. Cody was going to need a perfect pit stop, but instead, definitely going to go towards the back of the field. Bad pit stop for Cody Welch. Fast all day. That's going to ruin him if we go green for the rest of the way.
All right, Mark Allen Bivens will have a 6/10 lead over top of Josh McQuiggan, who's looking to run him down. Bivens electing to stay out here a few more laps. Right now, I guarantee you, Cody Welch is banging his head off the steering wheel. That is a rough finish here to the night, as he has tried everything he can to come back and come up with some sort of an answer to these fast-rolling cars out here. And I guarantee you that was not what he was looking for. So we'll definitely see how this plays out as pit stops are starting to happen. Peter Murphy, Chris Bassinger, and Dylan Nicastro are working their way down pit road. We're going to cut to commercial and we'll be right back here for the end of the race.
LAT Racing Oils is invested in winning. With industry-leading at-track support, superior engineering, blending technology, and the World Championships to prove it, LAT is your premier choice for racing lubricants. Used by NHRA Pro Mod champions Jose Gonzalez and Chris Thorne, along with their closest competitors, LAT Racing Oil continues to carry top-level racers to the winner's circle in all categories of competition. From engine oil to transmission fluid and gear oil, LAT has you covered from end to end in your race car. A nationwide dealer network means easy access to our products as well. Visit LATRacingOils.com for more.
All right, everybody, as we come back from our shout-out from our sponsors real quick little update. Mr. Ethan Sikorsky, you pit back on lap number 75. He's only been down 3 times here tonight, has overtaken and has the lead. Brett Guzik now moves up to third. This may be short-lived as he came down on lap number 80. Ethan Sikorsky now coming on down. Pit stop starting to heat up here. 21 laps left to go. Connor Gibson will now have the lead. And Jackson, I would say, we're about 20 laps to go. Who are you calling it here?
Well, the real question is, when did Connor Gibson pit?
Connor Gibson last pit on lap 75.
Okay, so Connor Gibson probably going to come down pretty soon here. I think we saw Ethan Sikorsky come down pit road. He had a perfect entry. As long as he didn't speed, it looked really good. As long as he gets into his box correctly, I think Ethan Sikorsky is going to have a real good chance at it. Connor Gibson definitely going to have a chance, but Guzik up front, really for the first time that we've seen today, slowly made his way all the way up. Connor Gibson definitely going to have to hold back Brett Guzik. I think if Brett Guzik gets a really good stop, he's going to definitely be there right at the end. Crocker and Ferreira have both had not the greatest of races so far today, so to see them up front, definitely see where they going to be surprised to see where they finish or end up towards the end there.
What, Brett Guzik going ahead and sending it on down into pit road a lot faster than Connor Gibson was. Entering the pit box is going to be Brett Guzik first, as he's looking to get 4 tires and fuel. Let's see if he can get back out there in time. Taking over the lead is going to be Marshall Crocker's, and this will be senior. Remember I said Brett Guzik came in on lap 80. He is following the leader of Connor Gibson and looking to get back out there. But can Cody Welch make up for that speeding penalty he had down pit road?
Brett Guzik going to get around Connor Gibson.
Yep, looks like he's got it. Right. Not bad here. That's still going to leave us a few more drivers. Our top 5 currently have yet to pit. They still have one more time left to go, which oddly enough, I believe it's going to put the 85 Chevrolet back in the lead.
Yeah, and Cody Welch pit after everyone else. Obviously, he's going to have not the greatest of tires, so Mark Allen Bivens just trying to get right back around him.
Wow.
But Cody Welch should have enough to make it to the end at this point. Mark Allen Bivens a little bit better tires. Looking inside down the back straightaway. It's going to make it there that time. Side drafting. Side by side. Mark Allen Bivens going to get it in this corner.
Right now we sit here on the side of Cody Welch's car, hanging off like Spider-Man now. Looking at Mark Allen Bivens, trying to get around him yet again. I would say Welch may want to hang back a little bit and just go ahead and let him on by. Save these tires and see if you can wear out that 76 before they get back underway. Currently out in front, Mark Allen Bivens sitting 5th, but Marshall Crocker, we don't want to knock him down here. Right now, he has the lead. He is way out in front by, I believe, 12 and a half seconds over top of Eddie Hagge here. And there he goes. Looks like he's coming down pit road now. Whoa. Taking the Welsh line there. Better watch his speed. Okay.
I think he made it in. Going to be a really good pit stop for Marshall Crocker Sr. if he made it in correctly and did not speed.
All right.
Might put Marshall Crocker up there towards the front.
Yeah, I would say, looking at Brett Guzik, he can save tires. Now, a guy who can save fuel is Eddie Hagge. This guy's been able to push it 5 or 6 laps longer than anybody else's fuel run. And right now, Eddie Hagge, well, pitting on lap 80 with 15 to go. He's got to figure out if he's got enough to make it. I don't think so, but shouldn't he pit earlier than later here? Right now, I definitely want to come in now and try to start ticking some lap times off. Currently, drivers like Joshua McQuiggan ran a 29.89. Currently, Eddie Haggie's running a 31.68. So each lap, he is losing more and more and more here. He might have to just go ahead and check out, get those tires on, and then run this thing like he stole it.
Unless possibly Eddie Haggie feels that he could get to the end. We saw a lapped car of Bob Berry catching him a lot down the back straightaway. There's a chance that Eddie Haggie is letting off a whole heck lot down the back straightaway and the front straightaway, saving as much fuel as possible. I'm not sure when Eddie Haggie pit, but there's a chance that he could make it to the end.
Yeah, he is the last of the three drivers. Eddie Haggie, Marshall Crocker Jr., and Chris Ferreira that came in on lap number 80. And even then, on lap number 80, he only took fuel and back out. So Eddie Haggie definitely playing a different set of cards here. And I think everybody else, if he has got something that he knows that we don't, that 97 is definitely going to put us to shame here. But currently, right now, these are the guys lined up to take over the lead. And I believe looking at our time, we are running a second and a half faster per lap, running Eddie Haggie down, which he is only currently 8.5 seconds ahead, as they are definitely rolling on through. That's them passing Fiera, who is currently sitting third, now down to 6th, as these guys are definitely on the high roll now.
Yeah, if Eddie can just get a caution, Marshall Crocker Jr. down pit road, Eddie Haggie now the only person who has not pit. There he goes down pit road. Joshua McQuiggan, your new leader, Mark Allen Bivens, right behind.
All right, this may be here the end of our race in the last 10 to 11 lap shootout here toward the end. 19 Ford out in front. Remember I said he was all the way back about dead last, 25 positions gained. Bivens knows he's got to get that fresh air, and he's going to dive down to the bottom of 3 and 4 to try and get it.
Yeah, it's been these two drivers ever since the middle of the race, and Cody Welch back in that exact position he was before. Going to let these two drivers tire themselves out, and Cody Welch possibly going to sneak around them when he needs to. But Cody Welch with them side by side, Cody Welch can just stay right there until the last couple laps and just get around him, hopefully fairly easily for him.
How he can have the discipline to sit back and watch and not start ticking down looking at each lap. I mean, if you look kind of far into the screen, we're getting ready to run up on some lap traffic here. So that may come into play as well, as they are quickly starting to reel them in. Boy, Cody Welch may have to find his spot as soon as they get up to these guys and try to squeak on by and maybe stay out front. But Cody Welch and Jennifer Wonders are going to be wondering if they got it here. All right, moving up front. Let's see if McQuiggan can do it. As right now, side by side, Mark Allen Bivens and Josh McQuiggan going at it.
Yeah, they've been side by side for about 2 to 3 laps now. A little bit of contact out of turn number 2 between them two. But still running fairly clean side by side across the line. Cody Welch just sitting, waiting for a lane to open up. Might use one of those lap cars as a pick. But Joshua McQuiggan, a little bit better entry into turn number 1 that time by. Going to have a little bit of a run down the back straightaway. But Mark Allen Bivens going to have the side draft he might have cleared. Yes, he did. Mark Allen Bivens looks low once again. He blocks down low. Joshua McQuiggan clears for the lead. Cody Welch looking outside. Eddie Haggie going to go a lap down now.
Yeah, Haggie doesn't look like he's got anything for these guys. It looks like he's heading on down. Looks like a little knock in there. Somebody smacked off the walls. We saw our camera screen shake. Somebody banged into the wall right there as we are slinging around the turns here. Boy, that wasn't good as we right now. Currently, here we are. Josh McQuiggan, Mark Allen Bivens, Cody Welch, our closest drivers out there on the track. I do see, I believe, currently Matt Crockett is looking to work on Connor Gibson a little bit back there for the 8th position. But look at where Welch is going. He gives up on McQuiggan, and here again, right now, Jackson, this looks like an exact repeat of not but 20 laps or so ago.
And exactly the same sequence of events. He's going to be able to clear Joshua McQuiggan. Now has eyes set on Mark Allen Bivens. He's going to have a little bit of a run down the back straightaway, but not quite close enough to make it there that time by. But with the separation between Mark Allen Bivens and Joshua McQuiggan, Cody Welch is going to have a little bit of a harder time catching right up to the bumper of Mark Allen Bivens. Once again, Mark now has clean air. but he's going to have a little bit of help from the arrow push of Joshua McQuiggan down that back straightaway this time by.
Yeah, very stretched out Cody Welch is having to be. He's following Mark Allen Bivens to keep him close enough, but also trying to float a line back there to McQuiggan to try to keep him close to help use for a arrow bubble. He's looking for it. See if he can get a solid run with McQuiggan, run close to the back of Mark Allen Bivens, and try to slingshot past him here, but with 4 laps left to go. Cody Welch taking a look here. McQuiggan may want just second if he can't get it back. And Mark Allen Bivens, I'm hoping, is driving straight out the windshield and not looking to that rearview mirror.
Yeah, 2 lap cars coming up now. McQuiggan tried to get to the outside that time, but I wasn't quite able to make it there. Instead, he's going to push Cody Welch down the back straightaway. That 16 car a little bit almost in the way, running that bottom lane, going to move both drivers up to that middle lane. Joshua McQuiggan trying to decide if he wants to get around him and use up that time, precious time that he has, or if he wants to push him up to Mark Allen Bivens to try to make it back up there. Going to use that clean air in the middle, give Cody Welch a push down the back straightaway. Never mind, he's going to look low. Side by side for second, side drafting. Coming to 2 laps to go this time by. He's going to clear entering turns number 3 and 4. Sends it in there. Cody Welch has nothing for him. Joshua McQuiggan now has his eyes set on Mark Allen Bivens once again.
McQuiggan with 0 Foxtrot looking to run down the Young Guns driver of Mark Allen Bivens. Bivens just needs to hold on for a couple more laps here, and he's got the win. Running into more lap traffic one more time, and I think he may be able to get clear, but does this cause a problem here for Mark Allen Bivens? We'll see as we keep a look here on the 76, and it looks like John Osborne is going to scoot to the top. White flag this time by. Great job here by all our drivers. This brought to you by Apex Sim Racing. And for our last lap here of the race, Mark Allen Bivens into 1 and 2, and he is getting the runaway.
Yeah, down the back straightaway for the final time. Mark Allen Bivens with a big gap, both second and third behind that lapped car of John Osborne. Nothing that they can do. Mark Allen Bivens making his way out of 4 for the final time. Mark Allen Bivens gonna win it here at Las Vegas in the Bandit Racing League.
Awesome job there by the 76 Chevrolet. Josh McQuiggan does hold on to second. Cody Welch is third. What a run here right toward the end. Definitely a couple of guys still trying to blast through. David Lakey did finish down in 10th. Kevin Foster was 9th. A lot of guys tumbling up. I would say the top 16 drivers were on the lead lap. That sent 17th on back, laps down. I believe only 3 drivers ended up taking it to the garage. Ricky Hart, Keegan Clark, and Terry Condis went down and out. I think even Benjamin Lacey was able to recover and come back. Great job here by Mark Allen Bivens coming away with the win here tonight. He definitely earned that one. Awesome. Waiting for our unofficial results to go ahead and show up here in just a second. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at it here as Mark Allen Bivens fries the last of his tires off. It's a 1-second win over top of Josh McQuiggan, Cody Welch, Zach Michaelis, and Ethan Sikorsky. Getting out of top 5. Not bad. Close race out there between Brett Guzik and Matt Crockett. I was only by 0.2 of a second. And got both of those guys. Awesome. What a run that was. Let's go ahead and see if we can find the last clutch of our guys here. And we will get you guys getting ready here to get back underway, and we'll run our guys down. Awesome. Appreciate you guys for hanging in there, especially all our subscribers out there. We were going to go ahead and we're going to run these guys down, have a little chat with them.
LAT Racing Oils is invested in winning. With industry-leading at-track support, superior engineering, blending technology, and the World Championships to prove it, LAT is your premier choice for racing lubricants. Used by NHRA Pro Mod champions Jose Gonzalez and Chris Thorne, along with their closest competitors, LAT Racing Oil continues to carry top-level racers to the winner's circle in all categories of competition. From engine oil to transmission fluid and gear oil, LAT has you covered from end to end in your race car. A nationwide dealer network means easy access to our products as well. Visit LATRacingOils.com for more.
All right, everybody, catching up on the third place finisher here, Cody Welch. Close but no cigar, man. That 85 MF Racing Designs car came in third. What a tough race this was. Mark Allen Bivens and Josh McQuiggan, man. These guys were on a roll here tonight. What was their key to success, and what could you have done different?
Yeah, that was a fun one. A lot of cautions, unfortunately, but I guess you'll have that here at Las Vegas with these cars. The last fuel run before I pitted, I had those guys were battling in front of me, and I could just keep in the draft behind them and kind of save my tires, and I drove right around them, no problem. So after I decided to pit a lap or two early, tried to undercut them a little bit, and kind of let the same thing happen. I thought I was saving. I let Mark and Josh both catch me. I had like a second or two lead on both of them coming out of the pit, so I'm like, I'll just do the same thing and try to save, sit behind them, and let them race each other and burn their stuff up, and I just drive around them. But 7 and 8 laps to go, I decided, all right, it's time to start making some moves, and I had no rear grip left. I was loose everywhere, all the way around the corner, trying to push, and I think that was the key, just saving. They saved more than I did at the end, so fortunately couldn't bring it home.
Man, pretty wicked, and we thought you may have sped heading into pits, man. We saw you break sideways heading into pit road, and I bet you puckered up there, and we were nervous heading there. But Las Vegas is a little bit weird. A nice wide sweeping turn, plenty of lanes. But next week we head to Michigan, which is going to be much of the same. Well, what's the outlook out for the 85?
Well, I love Michigan. That's my home track. I always run good there no matter what car I'm in. So I've won a few, lost a few really close ones, but yeah, we're ready. I'm excited for that one.
All right, brother. Shout out time. Go and give them to me.
Yeah, shout out to MF Racing Designs for the beautiful paint scheme. I've been running for years now. I haven't changed it. It's just that awesome. Thanks to everyone in the league side of things. Bill for keeping this thing going, and you guys for doing the broadcast. Thanks for everybody. Thanks to everybody for watching at home, and thanks to Jennifer Wonders for allowing me to do this.
Attaboy. All right, Cody Welch, good luck to you, buddy. We'll see you next week.
Thanks.
All right, getting ready here. That's going to bring us to our second place finisher here. Jackson Knock, I think, is ready to catch up with Josh there. Go ahead and take it away, brother.
Yeah, Joshua McQuiggan, you were side by side with Mark Allen Bivens ever since probably about the middle point of the race, side by side battling with him, fairly clean. Tell me about that battle, as well as what you could have done there at the end to stay in second and possibly be there for the win. What happened there and how you got to third and how you could have got back up there.
It was a great battle all the way up to the final pit stop. I mean, a little bit before the final pit stop, I bounced off the apron and hit the wall, and I was just trying to do my best to stay within reaching distance of them. Once we came down pit road, I closed the distance to Mark, and from there, the races were on. I caught back up to him and Cody when they were racing for the lead. I drove around Cody and then drove under Mark to the lead. Tried to defend it for a little bit, but Mark was really fast, man. Once we got side by side, we bounced off each other a few times, and eventually down there in 3 and 4, iRacing finally had enough, and there was about a feet of net code in between us, and it just sent me around sideways. So completely killed the rear tires, and yeah, it was unfortunate. I thought me and Mark would have had a great battle for the win, but I fell back behind Cody, and then we just tried to push him back up towards Mark so maybe they could battle and I could take advantage, but apparently Cody killed his tires and he couldn't get back to him, so I drove around Cody and then I just had nothing after that. The rears were killed.
Yeah, I definitely saw you deciding to push Cody. Do you think if you decided to go around him any bit earlier than you did, you think you could have gotten up there and possibly battled with Mark Allen Bivens for the win?
With the state of the rear tires from the slide, the netcode slide from earlier, I'm not sure if I could have battled for the win. I might have been able to get within a tenth or two of them, but I don't know if I could have got alongside them again.
Well, great racing out there today. Any sponsors or people you'd like to shout out before you head to your hauler?
Yeah, Ricardo Bernal for making my paint schemes. He's a great guy, team owner of Yenair Auto Group. And Mark Allen Bivens for being so clean in the battling tonight and the great racing me and him had. We went at each other for 40-plus laps. It was so much fun. And my dad for watching every race here, supporting you guys. And, of course, as always, thank you guys for broadcasting. It's a pleasure to have you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
We will see you next week. Good luck.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, Josh. All right, Josh did an awesome job here tonight, and I guarantee you this dude, we're going to be talking about him a lot here lately so far.
For
but right
sure.
now, yeah, we're going to be definitely squaring this away here. As Mark Allen Bivens, I think he's been waiting for this for a little bit, longer than the rest of them. Right now, Mark Allen Bivens, dude, what a run here tonight, man. Definitely you were able to save tire. What did you find out there on the track that maybe nobody else thought of?
Well, I had no clue what I was doing the first half. And then good buddy Zach Michaelis told me, just let off. I asked him how he was saving tires. He said, just let off. So I did that and went to the front and we rocket shipped. We had to lay some tops up here, but on a couple of them. And we were just on dig tonight.
Man, how nervous were you with McQuiggan and Welch behind you?
I mean, they were for sure fast, but I mean, I felt like that I had really good pace. Sucks that me and McQuiggan got together. Just race control said it was netcode. I haven't been able to look at it, but I mean, that really sucked that we got together because we were having a really good battle. But yeah, just overall tonight, just battling with all of them was super fun. I felt like that whenever everybody was battling, it was just like back and forth, back and forth. It felt like nobody really had a certain edge on anybody.
You may not have had a certain edge on anybody there, but you guys were able to break away from the rest of the field by at least, from what I'm looking at, almost 3 seconds. I mean, you guys were able to squeeze away, leaving the rest of these guys in the dust. And that way, only the three of you were, trying to kill each other out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just some people just have it figured out some nights and some people don't. It's honestly kind of weird because a lot of this league is fast guys, and a lot of this league has some good talent, some not so good talent, but has some really good talent. And I'm just glad that these guys have been able to help me just through the however many years I've been in here to help me improve my driving. And I feel like that I'm a force to be reckoned with every single week. And, I think we would have had a chance last week. We didn't get cleaned out, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. So I think we're back on top in the points. Could be wrong. So good on us.
All right. You thinking this is your year to come away with the championship?
Don't want to call my shots too early. Don't want to jinx it. But I think that I have good speed, and I think I'm a force to be reckoned with, and that's all I'm going to say.
All right. Mark Allen Bivens, shout-out time, brother.
All right. I'd like to thank Lake Storage and the Outfitters, Brack Racing, just all my teammates, everybody in the league, just everybody that cheers me on, everybody that helps me out, all these guys for racing clean. And we're going to go out next week, and we're not going to let anything slow us down, and we're going to go keep on doing what we've done all season.
All righty. I will ask right before I let you go, when you and McQuiggan got into it, was that the bivouac everybody's been waiting for?
I think it was. We were the one that got bivouacked last week, but I think it was the bivouac everybody's been waiting for.
Okay, awesome. All right. Mark Allen Bivens in the 76 Chevrolet, congratulations on your win. We'll see you next week in Michigan.
See ya.
All right, Mark Allen Bivens coming away with the win. What an awesome job he did here, and what a tough race it was, especially right here at the end. I guarantee you that guy had been doing nothing but looking straight out the windshield. As soon as he figured out he had it, passed a couple of those lapped cars, he was finished, and I don't think he ever looked back after that. What an amazing job here. I do appreciate all you guys joining us here, especially in the broadcast, even Bill Harkins out there, and I believe Carla Bivens out there also enjoying watching Mark come away with the win. Kelly Queel and Patsy, I would say these guys had a little bit better out there. I think they could do just a little bit more. Right now, I think David Lakey and Kevin Foster finishing 10th and 9th. A little tough, and even Mama Goose kind of rooting on Brett Guzik out there and kind of getting an okay spot. I will say finishing 7th after being 17 places beyond that, deep into the field, made it extremely tough. But appreciate all you guys joining us here at SimTraX Broadcasting on this fine Wednesday night. That's going to do it for us here at the Bandit Racing League. We'll see you guys next week at Michigan. Until then, be well, be safe, be kind, and we'll see all you guys then.